Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Oh, we're going to go ahead and get started today. Warren is going to lead us in prayer. Thank you.
All right, let's pray. Heavenly Father, we come today thankful for so many various things. We thank you that we're able to get together in this club and fellowship with one another and keep the idea of service above self alive and well. We thank you for the weather you've given us. We thank you for the beautiful sunshine. And with the heat that's with it, we thank you for central air conditioning. And Lord, there's many, many things wrong that we could stress about, worry about. But you told us to give all of our problems to you and you handle it. So there's a litany of things that I could talk to you about right now, telling you what we would like you to do and it would be your will. But I'm not going to do that because you have a master plan. We're told to trust you, so we trust you. Please bless this meeting and bless this group.
Thank you. Will you join me for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And the four-way test, please. Maybe backwards, but you know it by now.
Is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? Fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you very much. So, first off, I just wanted to start off by saying thank you so much to Bonnie. She did go over and volunteer today for the drive-through clinic. We had about 35 people that got their first vaccine today, and it was great because this was for like the really health compromised, so a group that really needed to get that vaccine. So it was great to see, and thanks again, Bonnie, for doing that. Just a couple of things. I'll keep it brief because I'm really excited about our speaker today. I just wanted to remind you that Sharon sent us all an invitation to join the Wheeling Rotary Club on November 23rd to listen to Congressman David McKinley. And then just wanted to follow up about the children's clothing drive that we're currently doing that runs till the end of this month. So I spoke with Sarah today, and we can collect all the way to August 31st. And then we are able to drop off all of the goods on September 1st to the FRN over on 2nd Street. So I plan just after the meeting, if anybody wants to go over with me and drop off, we'll get some pictures and drop off all of our goods over there.
Actually, President, actually,
You're good. Keep your phones on, we're good.
So I have a collection of toothbrushes and bath soap from the expo because I have this cute little granddaughter that went to every booth, and even though I told her to only take one, everybody had extra. Well, she kept anxious gaga. I told them I was only allowed to have one, but they said take more. What? Did she? At least she shared. Yeah. So I have several toothbrushes and little bath soaps. Is that something you think could be used for this project?
Well, I mean, it was hygiene items like diapers, baby wipes. I know that they needed them mostly for the younger kids.
I mean, I could give them to someone else, or I can include them with our stuff.
The only other thing that just came to my head, and I don't know would be, I don't want to put you out or make something difficult, but would that be something that the veterans would really more benefit more from? Helping Heroes.
That's a good idea.
That sounds like something that I know that they're in need of.
Right, that's a good idea. I know we can't possibly live long enough to use them all.
and your cutest granddaughter in the whole entire world couldn't give them all away, huh? No, let's just keep a hold of them and do that. Or if it's convenient and you want to bring them in, I'd be happy to donate.
Okay, that's cool.
If it's
good idea.
For you. Yeah. But thank you. So once again, we are collecting anything listed on that flyer. So mostly it was kids, babies' needs, onesies, diapers, diaper bags, wipes. I don't have the little ones, so I don't know what all they use. Probably bottles, different things like that. And obviously, we will take any monetary donations. I'm planning on, one day after work, I'm going to go a couple places and just get, so I have about $100 right now. And then I know that we are accepting drop-offs at the Sleep Inn and at Altmeyer's. I don't know if we have received anything. Has anybody received anything that they're aware of?
I was just with Randy and she hadn't said anything about Altmeyer's.
Okay, and then this is just kind of a question to the club, and obviously I know Josh wasn't gonna be able to make it today, but would it be something that the club could potentially maybe give a donation to, and we could buy some stuff? Because I feel like we haven't been giving out a whole lot of donations, and we just think as long as it's minimal, I would like to.
Would you like a motion?
I would love.
I make a motion that the club give, what, $100?
I'll second that.
Thank you very much.
We have to vote on it.
Great, thank you.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Thank you. I feel like I've done 2 votes, all right? And it's been, I think, since the first meeting, so gotta remind me of these things. So just wanted to briefly, and I know we're gonna discuss more about our projects next week, but Nan did say that John Marshall's shop is gonna be able to help us with those lending libraries. And then Bonnie was wonderful and spoke with Ace, and I think that they're gonna be able to supply us the materials to make those. So it's all kind of coming together here. We're gonna get more information here soon on those. And then just a reminder that we are gonna be going to the club discussion here, mostly talking about projects, alternative times, but anything else you all wanna talk about, this is your club. So think of some ideas. We'll be having that brainstorming session next Wednesday. And that is all I have. I got something else, but I'm saving it for next week. That'll be fine. And I get the pleasure of introducing somebody that I have known since I was in 8th grade. And let me tell you how we met, because this is such a beautiful story. And it just shows what type of person we have sitting in this room with us today. So I cheered for 1 year when I was in 8th grade, and Jill was a cheerleader throughout her middle school and high school career. Phenomenal. But unfortunately, not a lot of cheerleaders were friendly with others or a different school. So I cheered for Bridge Street. You were Warwood?
Wheeling Middle.
Wheeling Middle. I always say that every single time. Wheeling Middle. And the first game we cheered at together, Jill comes walking up to me and just shakes my hand and introduces herself, and it's been friendship ever after. And every single high school dance, we have a picture together. It's hilarious, and obviously we have stayed connected. Such a wonderful person, and just is making such a wonderful impact in the world. So Jill works for WVU Medicine, Reynolds Memorial, and she is the Director of Nutrition Services and Diabetes Education. So she's going to speak with us about what she does today, a little bit about herself, and then I've asked her to be here because she was nominated as our Ohio Valley Woman of Impact for American Heart Association, and she has done some incredible things. She has donated a lot of time, a lot of energy, and has really tried to raise as many funds as she can for American Heart Association, so she's going to share that with us as well. So please welcome Jill Spangler.
Gosh, Ashley, I'm very honored by you saying all those sweet things, but I'm sure you all know as her being your president, you're very fortunate to have her. She has the biggest heart of anybody that I know, so definitely you have a winner, and she'll lead your club far, and I know that 3rd time's a charm on that note, don't you worry. But you know, that goes back to me and Ashley being friends since 8th grade, and just how good people attract good people. So I think that's really what we have here, and just she's telling me what you all do and the different projects, and it's so phenomenal. So definitely thank you for what you do for the community. And I also am very passionate about helping and giving back because I too feel so blessed in all that I've been blessed with. So as I'm here today, I do want to talk a little bit about, I live here in Moundsville now, but I grew up in Wheeling, and I've been a registered dietitian for 15 years. I, in the past 5 years, have become a diabetes educator. So the majority of the patients that I see at Reynolds for outpatients are diabetes patients. So I want to talk a little bit about that, healthy eating combined with physical activity, just trying to live your healthiest life possible. And in promoting health and wellness, I, as Ashley had stated, was able to work with the American Heart Association in providing education and promoting health and well-being in order to raise funds for the American Heart Association. 1 in 3 women are impacted by cardiovascular disease. So it's very startling. Every 8 seconds, a woman is diagnosed with a heart condition. So whether it be high blood pressure, whether it be a stroke, whether it be a heart attack, it's very alarming and it's very real. And in November, I received a call from my parents, and my dad was trying to decide if he should take my mom to the emergency room. Her left side was numb from the night before. So I said, yes, you need to take her to the emergency room. And he's like, we thought it would just kind of go away. She pinched a nerve or whatever. I'm like, no, you need to take her to the emergency room. So it turned out that she did have a stroke. Thankfully, everything's okay. Both my parents are 67, but it was so alarming and so eye-opening to me that, you know, it could happen at any time, any day, to anybody. And just knowing the signs, the symptoms, and acting quickly. So with the American Heart Association, I've had the opportunity to do that, teach the signs, any numbness or tingling, any sweating or heart racing or anything that just doesn't feel normal. It's okay to get it checked. It's okay to go to the emergency room. Sometimes we think, oh, it'll go away or it's just heartburn, but it might not be. So it's very, very critical to get it checked. In best case scenario, nothing's wrong. But worst case scenario, it could be something deadly. So one thing that I just want to remind us all of is, put yourself first. So as the Rotary Club, I know you're passionate about putting others first, but it's very important to put yourself first in order to help others. And as giving people, we have a hard time doing that, but know that it's okay. And you're going to put your best foot forward if you take care of you first. So some ways that we can do that are through healthy eating and physical activity and getting good sleep, drinking water, so making sure that we're getting a balanced meal plan. And I brought my little plate that I tend to take to all my little talk events that I get to go to, just to remind people that, a quarter of your plate or 1 palm of your hand, we recommend to be protein. So whether it be beef, chicken, eggs, fish, so kind of think about maybe what you had for lunch. And then the other quarter of your plate or palm of your hand, we would say a grain or a carbohydrate. And then we would want to fill our fingers or the rest of our plate with non-starchy vegetables. So making sure that we're getting all different colors, that we're getting a variety, and that we're watching our portions. So sometimes easier said than done. Food tastes good. However, we need to think of food as medicine. What we put in our body is important. What we put in our car is important. We wouldn't just put sugar water in our car. So putting the best nutrients in our bodies is where we benefit. So people sometimes say to me, well, what about sweets and treats? Sure, we can have those, but in moderation. So a small piece of cake, every so often, a birthday party is going to come around, a holiday is going to come around. So I wouldn't say never, but I would say choose the healthier options more often, choose the unhealthier options less often. Maybe split it with somebody. Maybe eat half and then eat the other half later. Or eat half and throw the other half away. And we think, oh gosh, I can't do that. However, throwing the other half away is actually what would be better for your body at that time. It would be just like, putting it in your body because it's not really going to help you that much. So just trying to be more mindful when eating is what I try and teach patients. And as I stated, I typically teach diabetes, but I've had the opportunity to teach heart disease more also. And another thing that I'm learning more about and is becoming more prevalent is the amount of sodium in food. And sodium can raise blood pressure. And with raised blood pressure, we see higher risk for stroke. So sodium, often heard of as salt. One of the best lines of defense is not adding salt to your foods. Just by simply not adding salt to your foods, using pepper instead, using other spices, herbs, that would be best, easiest thing to do. The other couple things to think in mind would be cutting back on processed foods or boxed or canned foods. Anything that's quick and easy and convenient and can stay on the shelf for a long time is preserved and has excess sodium. So if it's able to stay on a shelf, then in our body it might not be the best choice. So just trying to be more aware of the sodium content of foods. Fresh is best, so choosing fruits, vegetables. We're so lucky with farmers markets this time of year, so taking advantage of those or having your own garden. Little tips and hints that may help to have a healthier overall lifestyle. Making sure we're drinking enough water also. So not only do I try and teach patients about portions and diabetes, variety, but also watching the sodium intake. Along with sodium intake, we also try and limit alcohol. So moderation with alcohol would be 2 drinks for a man or 1 drink for a woman. So in an event where you go to a party, just try and limit it. Try and match, try and match an alcoholic drink with a water. And of course, staying away from it altogether would be best. However, moderation is key. So with the American Heart Association, I've been able to do some really cool events to promote health and overall well-being. I do have some handouts for everybody. And these are 25 ways to get moving at home. So oftentimes patients will tell me, Joe, I don't have time to exercise. I'm too busy. And these are quick and easy and fun exercises that you may be able to partake at home, and anybody can do them anywhere. As far as equipment, it's not even needed. But these are just fun things like turning on the radio and dancing. You're welcome. So a couple things that you'll see here, run in place for 30 seconds. Well, maybe that doesn't work for you, but you could have a dance party for a minute. Stand up and sit down 10 times, read standing up, keep a hot balloon in the air, like it's hot without trying to let it touch the ground. Jumping jacks, do the hokey pokey, stand up, touch your toes. So I'm not going to read through all of them, but these are just some tips and hints on how we can be healthy. So throughout this campaign with the American Heart Association, I've been able to provide education to people at Reynolds, to schools and communities in order to promote health and wellness. And the American Heart Association provides us with tips and hints. So the biggest part of this campaign was getting the word out there, promoting. So another thing that I did to help raise money was host yoga classes. So at the White Palace at Wheeling Park on the ice rink, we did yoga with the Wheeling Symphony Orchestra. There was a lady playing the harp while 25 of us did yoga, and Ashley came to that, so it was wonderful. And it's all levels, all shape sizes, male, female. It's not limited to only yoga professionals by any means. So it's welcome for everyone. And it was a donation class that we were able to raise $181 in one event for an hour for the American Heart Association. Also performed they have CPR classes that are 2-step CPR. It can be performed. You can go to the website and find information. They also have Journey to Health. So little tips and hints if you're trying to find more information about being the best you as possible. We are hosting another yoga class with the Wheeling Symphony Orchestra on Monday, September 20th. That's going to be down at the waterfront, which is where we planned to have the original one. However, it was supposed to thunderstorm, 80% chance that day. So we moved it to Wheeling Park Ice Rink, and it was sunny. But either way, it's I'd love to see you all there, and it's for a really great cause. The campaign for the Ohio Valley Women of Impact ran through August 20th, and we're having our celebration this Thursday, August 26th, tomorrow. And I'm trying to think what today is. But on September 16th, if you're looking for a way to get involved, the Ohio Valley American Heart Association Heart Walk will be taking place. So that's something that is available online as well if you're interested in signing up and raising money for a great cause. Any questions that I can answer for you all? Yes, ma'am.
All right. So in your job at the hospital, these are all patients that are referred from a doctor, right? Is that how they get to see you?
So a couple different ways. If a patient is inpatient at the hospital, let's say they had a knee replacement or they're there because they've had chest pain, I may get a consult from the doctor to go talk to that patient. So that's inpatient. Outpatient is typically referred from their physician. So if somebody has labs and their triglycerides are high, or if their blood sugar is high and the doctor wants them to come see me, then they'll put in a referral, absolutely. And if someone has Medicare and has diabetes, then it's actually a covered benefit. So to come see the dietitian for 10 hours of education. So that's always a bonus. And different insurance companies cover different diagnoses. So it's definitely something worth looking into if somebody's interested in education. And they're more than welcome to reach out to me at the hospital, and I can help you find if education would be possible. Yes?
I meant to bring this paper, and it's on my desk still. I got something in the mail about a diabetes education class through WVU, through Morgantown. And I only read it once. I think you can do it online too. But it's in like November and December. You're looking surprised. That's not something you're involved in. Well,
I should know this.
Well, I mean, so I was going to ask if you were involved in that, which I know the answer to that. And then the other is, why would they send me there and not to you?
Very good questions.
Well, so I'm right to be puzzled then.
You are, and it's something I'm going to look into. The only thing that I can think is, was it from Ruby, from Morgantown's diabetes?
It's on WVU stationery, but everything is, so I don't know. I can send a picture of it to you if you give me your
I
contact
would love
information.
that. Yes, please.
Yeah.
And then I can investigate it more and say, hey, can I be involved? Can we have this here?
Right.
Because going to Morgantown.
I'm not going to
isn't-
Morgantown for these
no.
classes.
However, a virtual option.
Virtual is
a
a possibility, yeah.
And that is something that I'm able to do. So doctors are able to refer, and I can do a MyChart visit, which is face-to-face through the computer. So that's always an option too. But yes, I'll give you my contact.
Okay.
Cute.
I have a question. Some of my friends do that keto diet. Keto thing. How bad is that?
So
There are a lot of people.
There are.
Who do it.
So in defense to them, it works.
Yeah.
People lose weight.
It worked.
Correct. It worked. Past tense. So they lose weight. Blood sugars are controlled. As soon as they start eating carbs again, we see weight go back up. We've actually seen people develop diabetes because they stayed away from carbohydrates so long. Our brain needs 130 grams of carbohydrate every day. So we need carbs, potatoes, pasta, bread. We just don't need them in excess. So limit, but don't eliminate them. So every time I hear somebody say keto, I'm just
And
I
I
don't
know
do
someone
it.
that's been on it for months and months and months. And they won't come off of it. I don't know about that.
Unfortunately, our bodies are made to have carbohydrate, just not in excess. And it will work, but it's not something that many can continue to do throughout the rest of their life. The way I look at it, you want your meal plan to be something you can live with. So maybe they can, maybe they're 1 in a million that are okay with never having a cookie again. But I do not follow that. So my best answer to them would be, portion control, water, exercise, balance. Just because, you not only worry about gaining the weight back, but wow, what are you doing to your kidneys?
That's what I was
to your
wondering, what else
heart?
are you-
Absolutely. Yeah, it's not the best route to go. Good
And
question.
they were actually friends, not me.
Ah!
I know Bob was thinking of that.
And truly, everyone has their own beautiful body and has to do what works for them. So I'm here to give you the science and the education that I've learned, but what works for one might not work for another. Especially we see that with diabetes. Some people are able to follow a certain plan and it works well for them. Others can follow that same plan and it doesn't work. So that's another reason it's good to sit down and meet one-on-one in order to develop what works best for your man.
Have you actually, have you seen people be cured of ailments just by changing their diet?
Absolutely. Absolutely have seen. I don't know that I would say cured, but I would rather say controlled through their diet. The only reason I backstep and say that is because with diabetes, once a patient has diabetes, they are always considered to have diabetes. However, they can control their diabetes. But to elaborate on that, we've seen patients that have done a complete 180 with their meal plan, have gone from eating processed foods, fast foods, to eating much cleaner and overall feel better, skin's improved, energy levels improved. So we do definitely see improvement. Absolutely.
I'm curious to know what the revised recommendations are in light of COVID with CPR.
Oh, that's a great question.
Very
is.
good question. So the American Heart Association, as I was talking about, has a 2-step CPR, and it's hands only. So it would only be compressions. Step 1 is calling for help. Step 2 is compressions. So that's how the American Heart Association is revising, because it's 1, quick and easy, and 2, it's COVID friendly. But as far as, when the professional comes in, I am not 100% sure. That's a very good question. Is that something I can let Ashley know when I
Sure.
enlighten
Yeah, I'd be
you guys?
real interested to know that.
I'm interested myself.
Actually,
It's optional.
and everyone has to have their own sharing benefits. So it just went back up about, it was completely shut down. Now it's optional. So you do the ventilation.
Thank you. Interesting. Question. Yeah.
Gastric bypass. Is it, what's it do?
It can control diabetes. So with gastric bypass, we see weight loss, which helps with diabetes. We also see portion control and less of a raise in blood sugar. Therefore, the diabetes is controlled. Several patients I've seen have had gastric bypass and have done successfully. Teaches you a whole new way of life, I think is why it works so well. But as far as curing, patients have been able to get off insulin, been able to get off oral medications. However, we would consider it control as opposed to curing. And it's interesting with gastric bypass, some patients will come to see me and that's what they'll want to do. However, there's so much more that goes into a gastric bypass than just having the gastric bypass. They do a psychological evaluation. You have to lose X amount of weight before even being able to have the surgery to show that you're dedicated, to show that you're able to do so. You have to work rigorously with a dietitian. Morgantown has a really good program with bariatric surgery or gastric bypass. but definitely dedication. And I've also seen the opposite where it's not gone well at all and patients have had difficulties. So it's definitely could be a great thing, but it takes a lot of dedication.
I wonder if they, by just them taking some control and working with a dietitian, I wonder if some of them actually say, maybe I could do this on my own and not go through with the surgery after a meeting
And I do think that's
making some
happened.
changes.
I've only worked with a select few that have gone through with the surgery. However, I'm sure that does take place. You know, if I could do this, and I think part of it might be medical issues. You know, how soon do they need to lose it? Is there something else going on? But absolutely, it's possible. You guys are a fun group. The rest of the
Yeah,
day
you need to
here.
come, you need to stick with us every Wednesday, because you fit right in.
Sure, absolutely.
Talk to her.
I'm gonna be working my magic. I'm gonna be trying to
You do
recruit
that.
Joe in for sure.
We need corporate members from Reynolds, so.
I didn't realize it was every Wednesday. I thought it was the last Wednesday of every month. Oh, so you guys are
You could enjoy our company every Wednesday.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
And even virtual too, because you're really good at that, you know, if you can't make it.
It's right down the street. I mean, come on. Well, I certainly have enjoyed this, and I don't want this connection to stop here today. So if you have any questions, please feed them through Ashley, and hopefully I will be back to see you all again soon. Thank you.
I've been saying that should be back.
Next Wednesday would be good.
So thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving us your time.
I don't know if we're allowed to hug, but
We
I
didn't
am.
look. Thank you all. We'll see you next week.
I do have, I was gonna say, yeah, I do have some more handouts if you guys are interested about limiting sodium and lowering your blood pressure.
I used to be. I'm not.
That's fantastic. Feel free to help yourself to some more handouts. I do. Absolutely. Thank you, Dawn. Great meeting you. You also. Have a great day. Thank you. Ashley, thank you. I'm sorry to interrupt. Do you know I don't, and I wanted to give her my information too.
Yeah.
Call us so we can do a little recap of,
Your speech today. I always forget to end the meeting.
Is that
We
okay?
are-
Email what